What is up, fellow creamers and new arrivals? Today we will be doing our third day of eating, and we will be eating like the man, the myth, the legend, Noel Deyzel. I recently bought and reviewed his 2,500 calorie eating plan, and well, it was interesting to say the least. However, I wanted to actually give this a go and see what it would be like to take me back to the good old college days when I like to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice, and possibly if I can spice this up just a little bit. My name is Nick. I have my master's in exercise physiology, and I make anabolic recipes, and I also review anything in the fitness industry. So if you're into that kind of thing, like this video and subscribe to the channel. I love this intro, so I have to do it again. If you're ready to get jacked as then let's get into it. A couple talking points here. First of all, I had the shiitake noodles last night with mac and cheese powder, so I am still full. That's a great little hack, by the way, if you haven't tried that before. Very low calorie, not exactly like mac and cheese, but a bunch of volume and pretty damn good, really quick to throw together. But I'm still pretty full, but we have 7 meals to eat today, so we have to get to it. I chose option 2, which includes protein powder instead of egg whites. And I wanted to see, does a whey casein powder do good in an oatmeal? So we're using the P Science, of course, E4CM for 15% off. But I wanted to see how thick it was, how it blended, and with certain amounts of water, because honestly, I haven't made oatmeal in literally 8 years, and there's no instructions with the meal plan like I told you before. I was going off of this, and I had to pour a cup of water for every half cup of oats, and that seemed like way too much, so I wanted to do a little experiment. And you guys know that I always like to show you different ways to do things when it comes to cooking. For the first one, I used the full cup of water when there was no whey in it, or no whey casein in it. It was way too watery. I would not use 1 cup. I used 3 cups with this one, and this one seemed to work out really well. Now I'll show you the consistency difference when you use 1 cup. So you could tell it's like way more watery versus a half cup. It's like stick and it's not even really sliding down the bowl. And these are still piping hot, which is why I have these gloves on. But even this was still a little bit watery with 3/4 cup of water. So just a word to the wise. This one has the cake pop, which I've still never tried on its own, but I wanted to see how the cake pop was with the oatmeal. And this one is the gourmet vanilla, which I've been trying to perfect an ice cream with it, and it's really damn hard to use a whey casein blend and perfect my protein ice cream. However, we are going to try the vanilla first. Oh, and I have my banana hiding in the background. So I don't know if I want to add the vanilla to this or not. Probably the vanilla one, but I don't know about the cake pop. Like, you don't think bananas with birthday cake. You know what I'm saying? The consistency and texture of oatmeal has always been weird to me. Bringing me back to the college days right now. It's not bad. Yeah, that banana, game changer. Let's see a little bit of Miss Buttersworth sugar-free. Wow, sugar-free maple syrup can just really change the game with many things. I still haven't tried it in a salad like Greg says to do, because it still sounds too weird to me, but not bad. A little maple syrup and banana. I can't really taste both. I'd almost rather put one or the other. Let's try this cake pop one. I don't know why they say use 1 cup. This is way too watery. Like, I can't even really taste the protein in it because it's so much water. I was really hoping the cake pop would taste better in this. I think that the vanilla gives a great additional flavor to the oatmeal over the birthday cake. I was really hoping for some birthday cake oatmeal. That'd be good. 3/4 cup, guys, for each half cup oatmeal. That's what I would say. So we got some of that, we got some of this. I literally just said how not to combine both of them, do one or the other, because they kind of get masked. but this needs some flavor. Without the banana and the maple syrup, I don't think that I would be able to eat, because this is supposed to be one serving together. There's no way with all of this water that you had to put in here, according to these instructions, and just the pure flavor overall and texture and consistency, I wouldn't want to eat this. I would not be looking forward to my meal. This one's a lot better, but it's still not something that I would want to eat every day. I mean, it's good, but it's not great. For the calories that I have here, it says 608 calories, 38 protein, 99 carb, and 9 fat. According to this, 536 calories. Again, the importance of logging your food is crucial. If I overeat 70 calories and I think I'm eating 2,500 calories across 7 meals, 7 times 7 is 490 calories, I'm probably gonna be either at maintenance or actually in a bulk at that point. Make sure you're counting your calories, and I will probably have to pull back later at some point to make sure I don't go above my 2,500 calorie goal. I will see you back for meal 2, chicken, broccoli, and rice. First of all, since we have to cook 7 meals today, I still don't have a shirt on. It's only been like an hour and a half since my last meal. But I am hungry since I did drop a deuce. So now we have our nice chicken, broccoli, and rice. I use this like steamer thing to where you put the water on the bottom, this on the top. I got my broccoli ready to go for the rest of the day. I have my nice chicken and onion that I cooked together, and then my real easy rice. So this took me about 45 minutes in full to get everything chopped up, like the chicken, the broccoli, get everything prepped and ready. And now I would have meals for probably 2 or 3 days with this amount of chicken, broccoli, and rice that we're eating, but still, it's prepped and ready. I will say though, I know how to cook. If you're doing this and you're a beginner and this is your first time, what I don't like is I feel like that's going to be a lot of people that do buy this plan, is there's no instructions. It's just like, eat this amount of cooked rice, eat this amount of cooked chicken. But if you don't know how to cook chicken, broccoli, or rice, you have to learn to cook 3 new things in one meal. And even me, who has done this a million times before, since I haven't done it in so long, you know, you use it or you lose it. I never could think of the saying when I'm on the spot, but I haven't done it in so long that I didn't remember everything. But it did come back as I was going. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta do this, gotta do that. Speaking of which, this big thing, I always buy a family-sized thing of chicken. I think a good little tip is if you get a vac seal, and then you could vac seal your chicken. It stays longer and fresher and doesn't get slimy in the fridge. Eventually it will, but it definitely lasts longer in the fridge. And since this is vac sealed, you can also then throw this in the freezer for whenever you want to then take it out and use it and defrost it later on in the week, month, year, whatever. I would highly advise getting one of these if you buy family-sized things of chicken or whatever type of meat. Then what I added for some flavor for this one was some teriyaki sauce. I'm sure they have a lower calorie one that's like, you know, 5 calories per tablespoon, but I only used 1 tablespoon and this is 15 calories, and some soy sauce. To add to the broccoli, to give it some flavor and add minimal calories, sometimes I add Parmesan to the top of broccoli, but this is the popcorn topping that you buy at like Walmart or whatever. This is the ranch one. You can buy whatever one you want. I made the chicken with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of onion powder, along with, I cooked the onions and sauteed them for a few minutes before I started the chicken. And I guess we're gonna eat. There's nothing more to say about chicken, broccoli, and rice. We've got some decent flavor here. I really wish I would have dry brined my chicken. Dry brining is the way to go, and it makes it a lot juicier, even if you overcook it a little bit. But I don't like raw onions, but some sauteed onions, especially with some teriyaki sauce, fuego. Just that little bit of seasoning, ranch seasoning that I put on here, really nice. I would say just make sure you don't over steam. The first couple times I cooked broccoli, I way over steamed it and it becomes like soft and mushy and gross. Just steam it just enough so it's soft. I probably should have added another like 10 calories and mixed the teriyaki with the white rice, but don't worry. We have more carbs to come later, so we'll see what happens. The calories on this one matched up almost perfectly, so I'm happy about that. I'll see you guys back in about an hour. We are back with meal 3, and we have more chicken, more broccoli, more onion, but this time we have some sweet potatoes. And instead of just roasting them or whatever the case may be, wait, actually, you see those dishes? First, we have to thank the Cream Queen for doing them for us. She has always been a big help with me on all of my ventures. Secondly, if you could like the video, because a lot goes into these days of eating. It's a lot of dishes, a lot of time, and a lot of effort just to show a full day of eating of whatever the case may be. I appreciate it. And subscribe while you're at it. Now, instead of just making some roasted potatoes in the oven, I wanted to spice it up a little bit. So I decided to make like pita chips, pita fries. I kind of varied it up. Did them in the air fryer. Took me an extra maybe 5 minutes. And it's an extra like 40 calories with the olive oil that I had to use. However, the flavor is going to be absolutely delicious. What did I do with the chicken this time? Well, I wanted a buffalo chicken since I just had some Chinese like teriyaki type of chicken. So Frank's Red Hot, essentially no calories, and I mixed everything in there. The onions, the broccoli, everything. But what am I gonna do with that? Some people love ranch with their chicken. Some people like blue cheese, moldy ass blue cheese. That's me. So I got chunky blue cheese. Bolthouse Farms makes dope ass yogurt whatever dressing that's only 35 calories per serving versus the 140 that is typically in Hidden Valley and all the other ranches. So I'm gonna use this to dip my chicken in, and then I'm going to use, of course, if you've never been on the channel before, you might not have seen this, but this is the classic, no sugar added ketchup. Love it. And let's try the chicken by itself. I love buffalo sauce, one of the best ways to do it. I really like when there's a breading on here though. I know it adds more calories, but it seems that the buffalo sauce really soaks it in, like in my buffalo ranch chicken sandwich in the Power 13 cookbook, which you should pick up. Again, code E4CM15 for 15% off the cookbook. But honestly, the ranch and any sauce soaks so much better into the breading when you have a breading on it versus like this just kind of coats it. It doesn't really inject the flavor into the chicken the same way. Still pretty good though. I will say though, the broccoli really soaks anything up at the top here. So this is straight Buffalo Town with the broccoli. So what I want to do with the broccoli too actually is dip some. That's good. You want to make broccoli taste good? Add some buffalo sauce. Soaks right into the tree of the carrot. Tree of the broccoli. Dip it. What, probably 2 extra calories on here? See? You learn something new every day. Go out there, cook. Do whatever. Experience things. Yeah, even though this is adding like 30 calories to my meal, when you have more flavor and you're enjoying your meals, it tastes that much better. Mind you, I just ate about an hour ago. This meal is twice as good as the last meal. And I haven't even gotten into the sweet potatoes yet. We got a little bit of crunch, not too much though. Nice and salty. I added salt after I pulled them out of the air fryer. With the air fryer, if you do want to get it super crispy, try to get it as thin as you can. But with a little bit of ketchup, super good. All right, if I had to rate the first 3 meals, the first meal is like a 6 out of 10. It was all right, but especially by the end of it, I was just over the oatmeal. I didn't want it anymore. Last meal, the broccoli was decent. The chicken, it needed more. The teriyaki, like I said, with the buffalo sauce, it only soaks so much into that chicken. That one was like, again, like a 6 out of 10. This, with just the flavor in the broccoli and the potatoes, more like a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty good. I would eat this again. Next time though, I would probably bread the chicken, throw it in the air fryer for whatever, 10, 12 minutes, and then we'd be good to go. Try to find low calorie sauces that you really, really like that you could use to supplement any meal or entree that you make. I put some smoked paprika and garlic powder on these bad boys. They were in here for about 10, 12 minutes, mixed them up, another 5 minutes, and they were done. I highly suggest that you make these sweet potato fries or sweet potato chips, whatever you want to call them. Wow, best meal of the day so far. And since I just ate like an hour 15 minutes ago, I'm pretty full as well. The only thing I have to go over here is the macros. The issue I have is even without the stuff that I added, like the 5 grams of olive oil and the ketchup and the sauce, we were already about 40 calories above what he says here for meal 3. So now we're at about 110 calorie surplus if I keep eating, and that's if all the other meals aren't higher calorie when I calculate them myself. What you have to do is be careful, and later on in the day, I am going to inevitably have to cut something out so I'm not at 27, 2,800, 2,900 calories. But we'll figure that out when we get there. Those sweet potato chips were definitely worth it. Again, highly suggest you make it, and I will see you back for our pre-workout snack. We are back for our pre-workout meal, and that is meal 4. Now, I could have either had oats and a banana, or oats and a banana mixed up with some protein powder and make pancakes. I already had oats. That was the worst meal of the day so far. So, of course, I opted to make pancakes. And I thought this was a great opportunity to show you guys the difference between using whey protein for your pancakes and baked goods and a whey casein. For the whey casein, I used the Snickerdoodle, which if you saw my review is like the best ever, at least so far. I still have to review more of them, which I will in the next couple weeks. And then I have an oatmeal cookie whey, which I love the flavor of this one as well. The flavor should be on point. The only difference is gonna be the consistency. I'm gonna pull it up here, but I try to show you guys the difference on the inside and a little bit of the outside. The outside doesn't really look too much different, but the inside, you can tell that the whey ones are a little bit lighter and the casein ones have a good girth to them, a good weight to them. First, I'm gonna try a straight whey. It's good, it's dense, but for a banana oat waffle, pretty good. There's something weird about the casein in a good way that makes like almost like air pockets, air bubbles, because this is still dense, but it has so much more texture to it. I don't even know how to put it. And I actually had to add about another tablespoon of water so that this was thin enough to actually use as a pancake batter instead of like a waffle batter. These ones are still moist, but the whey casein ones are another notch or two above. I hope that the video can tell. I didn't look at it yet in post-production, but really, tasting is believing. And that's why I do think it is worth getting a whey casein blend for sure. Honestly, I could eat these really without any maple syrup. If you want a quick and simple way to get a meal together, blend some oats down into flour, add a banana, some protein powder, and you're good to go. Oh, another key difference. I overcooked this pancake a little bit. I just tried it. This one's pretty dry. Now, is it because I overcooked it? Partially, yeah, but also because of the whey protein. How do I know that? Because I cooked this one for the same amount of time, and this one is a lot more forgiving if you overcook it. Because is it drier than the other ones that were cooked perfectly? A little bit, but it holds the moisture so well with the whey casein blend. As far as the macros go, I actually came in about 30 calories lower on this one, so it made up for the last one that was about 40 calories higher. So I only have about 120 calories to make up, and I think I'll make that up in the post-workout shake. Until we get to that post-workout shake, I'm gonna hit the gym. When I do, you know that I'm going to use some gorilla mode because I am now affiliated with them. And what's the reason I became affiliated with them? I tried their pre-workout for the first time ever like 2 months ago, and I was blown away by how much better it was than a good one that I already had was. It's night and day difference. And what I'm liking to do lately is to stack one of the regular gorilla mode pre-workout and then one of the stimulant-free nitric pre-workout for the pump. So we get a good pump, you get some good energy, not too much caffeine for people that don't get overly stimulated, and then you have 40 scoops in here. So you can have 40 and use a stack, or you can have 20 of a solid higher stim pre-workout, or 20 of literally when you take 2 scoops of this and you work out, it's like not cramping, but it's like so full and defined and crazy when you use 2 of the nitric. And I think that's why the nitric is always sold out. I'm having multiple people ask me about this. But if you use code E4CM, you can get your gorilla mode for 10% off. And even without being affiliated, I would plug them because this product is way better than any on the market. And I will review this as well as a breakdown of all the ingredients in the future. I will see you back for our post-workout classic protein shake. All right, bye. Unfortunately, when I first recorded this, the SD card got corrupted and the video got deleted. So we're going to do it over, but I'm not actually going to drink this milkshake right now. I usually don't drink my calories, but that is what Daddy Noel ordered, so that is what I did. In doing so, I used the PE Science Vanilla, and I also used, for the first time ever, a post-workout formula, which I got from Gorilla Mode, or Gorilla Mind, however you want to put it. Why did I use Gorilla Mind? Well, he says to use dextrose. And essentially, this is dextrose. What is dextrose? Dextrose is essentially sugar. Why do we want sugar after a workout? Because we want to replenish our glycogen. Dextrose is shown to be one of the best in doing so. And you're supposed to pair with this dextrose fructose. Where does fructose come from? It comes from fruit. However, we're still 100 calories ahead. So I'm going to take out the fruit for this meal to save on the 100 calories that we spent earlier since the calories were off. However, this still should get right to the muscles. What else do we lose when we work out? Sweat. Have you ever tasted your sweat? It is salty. So we want to replace that salt. He puts 1,000 milligrams of salt to replace what we lost during our workout, which is more than enough. And then we also have creatine, 5 grams, good for recovery, gets water back in the muscles, hydrates them, beautiful. Love that. And then leucine on its own. Leucine is an essential amino acid. From what I understand, the essential amino acids, when combined with leucine, kind of knocks the leucine out of the way. So the leucine is in here so the leucine can do its thing and the other essential amino acids are not included. And honestly, if you want to request, or Derek, I'm requesting, if you can do an actual review like you did with the pre-workout for mode and also for the non-stimulant for nitric, you should definitely do a breakdown of this, because I'm of the understanding that this makes about a 2 to 3% difference. If you do all the things the right way for post-workout and you use this shake instead of doing your usual, whether it be gummy bears, whether it be fructose, you have a piece of fruit with your protein shake, whatever, I would guess that this adds an extra 2 to 3% versus not doing it. Derek, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember learning in school, but it's been a while since I looked at the studies for post-workout supplements. So I'd love to learn more about it, but obviously I trust what he's doing. The calories on this one was 220, 24 protein, 28 carb, 1.5 grams fat. So usually I'm used to doing a double scoop of protein, and I was kind of just doing a scientific experiment here because I'm combining an ice cream with a mango peach. And I was hoping for like a dreamsicle flavor, and it wasn't exactly that, but it wasn't bad because I've always expected the worst, and it actually tasted pretty good when you combine the two. So I would give it a go if you want to try it out. I'm gonna take a shower because I stank. And after I take my shower, we're gonna cook dinner and we're gonna eat like kings and queens. I will see you soon. I am so excited for this meal, not only because it's the final supper and last meal of the day, but because we are eating steak and fried potatoes. You cannot beat it. I will say, I am not doing what's in the cookbook. I'll show you right now on screen what I was supposed to make for the cookbook. Okay, but it's a variation. It still has potatoes and it still has steak, but I made it how I wanted to make it. I was done having broccoli today. I wanted a real steak. So what I did, pan sear, cook the steak, and then, oh, and by the way, I used the vac seal, like I talked about earlier, to marinate the steak. So it was marinating for 4+ hours. And then I used these little tiny balls, and I got both of these things at Aldi, by the way. The little tiny potato balls, and I coated them with olive oil. I freshly grated Parmesan right on top of it with some onion powder, Italian seasoning, and garlic powder. And I just used my hand, mixed it all up, and put it in the air fryer. I am super excited. They're not as crispy anymore because I had to get everything set up, but when they came out, they were super crispy. Added salt as soon as they were done, just like you'd see at McDonald's. They take it out of the fryer, put it in the bin, salt them real quick. Before we get into it, there was supposed to be a 7th meal, 130 calories. If you're wondering what that was, this was supposed to be the 7th meal. A rice cake with some cottage cheese and 5 grams, which is so many, of chia seeds. Instead, I transformed this into more of this. So the important thing to always remember is that you can change things up whenever you want. I'm so glad I was able to do this over that. Let me tell you what. And I haven't even tried it yet, and I know it's gonna be better. Shout out to Chicago, Green River. Fire. Let's cut into this bad boy. Now the queen wanted medium. So I gave her medium. It's a little pink in the middle, no blood, perfectly cooked. The good thing about days like today, not only for me, but for everyone else, is when you experiment, you realize what you've been missing out on or can add to your diet. I have neglected having steak in my diet for way too long. There is some extra calories over like chicken breast. It's not that many more though when you choose the right cuts. This is the right cut, and this is so damn good. Oh, I also added smoked paprika to these potatoes as well. I love paprika, but that smoky paprika, hell yeah. Air fryer is a game changer. Literally gets you about, I wouldn't even say 80, but it gets you 60% of the way of being fried, and you get so much damn flavor, and you put it on and you forget about it. You wait until it beeps and it's literally ready. Next time I'd probably save a little bit of the parm and add it to the top at the end, but just a little bit of it. Still incredible. Doesn't need any ketchup, but I'm a ketchup fiend, so we're gonna add this here. Absolutely incredible. Let's check out the final macros for the day. We are at 25, 58, 207 protein, 322 carb, 56 fat, 39 grams of fiber. Absolutely wonderful. What did I like about this full day of eating? Well, let me say first off that I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but there's a caveat to that. I know how to cook in different ways, and I already know how to change things up on the fly. Would this meal have been as good in that bowl? Maybe. But I think I would have liked this more. If I didn't know or was nervous about making pancakes, I would have had oatmeal again. I didn't enjoy that oatmeal meal, the first meal. It was okay. It was passable, but I wouldn't be able to do it every day. Point being, they did have a good variety once I gave it variety. Like, this wasn't supposed to have all these spices. This wasn't supposed to have cheese on it. This was supposed to be mixed in with other vegetables and probably baked in the oven. It would have had a completely different taste, not as flavorful. I think the point that I want to drive home is that you just have to get out there and cook. If you don't cook, you're never going to, everyone's gonna make mistakes, but you're never going to learn. So get out there and try things, and then you'll know on the fly with the stuff you have in your house, things that you can make to make something better. I will say the ease of all of these recipes was easy. Everything. Oatmeal, post-workout shake, blending things together and making pancakes. If you don't know how to cook steak, it might be a little bit, but all of the vegetables, you literally added your spices and olive oil, whatever, mixed it together, put it in there. Everything was easy. I just wish that there were more options for people that are beginners that are buying this plan and don't know how to vary things up, because it would get boring really quick having oatmeal twice a day and having chicken 3 times. Oh, by the way, you're supposed to have literally 2 bites of chicken with this as well. So that would get boring really fast. However, if you know how to vary it up a little bit, the meal plan wasn't so bad. I also like there's a lot of fiber, a lot of micronutrients, and I was full all day long. So no problems on satiety, and no problems like getting your micronutrients and fiber in for the day. My 2 negatives are the variety, because even this, after a few weeks, I might want to change it up. And if I don't know any better, I wouldn't know what direction to go in. So that's why things like Greg's cookbook, Remington's cookbook, Keto Fat Loss just came out with a cookbook. It gives you so many more options, and all of them are protein packed, and you always hit that. You just have to hit your calories. Make sure you're eating your fiber and micronutrients through your vegetables and through your different assortment of meats. But as given, many of the foods are boring. You don't want boring foods, you want to spice things up. So that's the only 2 negatives. Does it work? Yes. At the end of the day, as long as you are in a calorie deficit, that is all that matters. Go subscribe to Noel Deyzel. He is absolutely crushing it on YouTube and every other social media platform possible, and making people like Philion jealous, which is just such a great thing.
This man is getting more views in 2 days than my entire channel gets in 1 month. Phil, you sound jealous. It's because I am.
I am coming with 2 recipes in the next week. Be prepared. We got a pizza pot pie and a brand new protein ice cream. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, I will see you in that next one. Deuces.